Well, we're getting some progress here. This part here still is, I think they just have given up. They don't know how to solve that. Although it looks like, I tried to show them how the angle of the hill exists, so they're digging that out, but the angle of the hill is supposed to come down and at the bottom go flat so I can load my truck here. So they haven't quite got that figured out. So we still got a good extra foot of dirt here. I explained how the topographical map showed a slow curve and up, and check out what they've done. I mean, it's a step towards the right direction. It's a little hyperbolic right now, but you know, and I don't know if it'll show up in the video, but I'll try to describe. And it's on the way. So right now, I don't know if it'll show, but there's just like a, I don't think it shows. It's like right along there, they made it dead flat, which I told them, no, not dead flat, just a slight curve up. But they're still got the dirt humping this way. So the hill's coming down, and then it's humping out, and then it's going dead flat. Well, with a rake, we can transition that out and make this work, I think. I don't know if they've lowered my valve. It does not look like it, but you know, what do I know? It's still a little aggressive here. And then like, for reasons I don't really understand, they're very concerned with how this transitions into my neighbor's yard, which I don't quite get. Because like over here, it is kind of mellow. And then all of a sudden it just gets real steep. Like, does that show up now? Can you see what they've done? I don't know if I get the camera low enough. I mean, it's almost there. We just need to get some of this dirt here, down there, and just mellow it out. You know, they started this part here. This is right. You got a hump there. That's wrong. You know, obviously up here, I don't know what this is supposed to be. That's just like a 4-inch transition into a pile of detritus. None of this is leveled out. I did see some giant stones here today. You know, we've got a giant hole there, which is nice. This is all, you know, 3-inch drop. There's a giant hole right here. Like, that's a good whole foot hole. I don't know if that's been dropped. It's hard to tell. It needs to go more, obviously. So we're getting close. I mean, here's a giant piece of stone still. This is after, you know, after we rake, it'll all be gone. Well, there's a giant stone still there. It's just like, Jesus. So I'll tell the story. I saw the dirt man down here working. At one point he said, well, what would you, if we pay you to do it, what would you charge? Like, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not here to do this work. I wish the angles showed up on the video better. But it's just the yard comes down like it used to, and then there's just an abrupt change. Just at the dirt line everywhere, just an abrupt, it's not supposed to do that. Like, it just needs to be leveled out, like not leveled, like dished out. Like, it's just supposed to come down and it's supposed to scoop. Instead they're doing, it's an uprise. It doesn't show up in the video, but right there, it literally goes up. It crowns. I don't want a crown. I want it to dish, like, to flow. Like, this here is not that bad actually here. This is pretty legit, you know. It follows that transition pretty good and mellows out. So they're getting the middle part right, but over here, this is just disaster zone. Like, from about here, that way needs to have about, I don't know, 6 inches dropped and just brought down. It's just so bizarre. So like right now, this whole edge, that's like a 3-inch drop right there. Like, yard 3 inches down to there. It's like, well, what is that about? Are they actually gonna bring more dirt in? Like, maybe they are. It'd be amazing. And it's so hard to talk to anybody because like nobody shows up to like this is kind of how it's supposed to be right here. It doesn't show up, like that's flat going in. It's close. It's close. They're trying. The dirt guy was pretty upset because like he wants to do a good job, and like what they told me was, he said, I was told to take it from the curb to the grass with a straight shot. And I was like, well, that works for everybody else's yard, but that's not going to work for me. So yeah, we're going to have to rake a little of that down, mellow it. That's a good start. We got a good thing going there. Not bad. This seems a little humped here, but it's not terrible. I mean, I don't see the reason for it to just go up all of a sudden, but it's close. It's very close. If I could just get somebody here when they're working and talk to them, like, I guess it's so hard for me to get a hold of anybody and chat. You know, this thing here, I was told today that maybe we can get 2 inches of rock for you. But they don't make this, they don't make my driveway rock anymore. It's rare. And I was like, well, 2 inches, I couldn't tell you how far down this garbage goes. I assume since this is part of the temporary road system, it's probably the depth of a temporary road, and you need to take all that crap out and put my driveway back in. I'm like, oh, they're having heart failure over that. I mean, some of this stuff, that's a pretty big rock. That's ankle twister stuff. Like, it's a full 3 fingers wide. I have twisted my ankles on this stuff before. It's bigger than I enjoy as a gravel driveway. And I do have some red rock in here. It's gotten in over the years, but this is mainly what the driveway is. It's what I call 3/4 inch white limestone. That's what the main driveway is. Whatever. I'm trying to figure out, like, is this, God, is this final? Like, who do I talk to? It's like, oh, you're close. Like, is this part of the fixing area? Are we not going there? Or am I just gonna have like an off-road hump, bounce, jump? Like, it's so bizarre, dude. It's so bizarre. I mean, I'm making phone calls every single day on this one. Every day. And pretty soon it's gonna be like, I'm gonna start calling the mayor, maybe like the city attorney. You know, we're just gonna get this thing going here. But yeah, it still humps to the shutoff valve and goes back down again. It's like, why would there be a hump where my shutoff valve is? I mean, I get there's a shutoff valve, but there's not supposed to be a hump. I may drive down there and see if I can find somebody to talk to, because they're so close. It's just, like, I drew the diagram. I said, this is what my yard is supposed to be like. Upper yard, rolled hill, down, curb, street. That's the diagram. What they've done today is they've done this. That's what I have going on now. I have my original slope, then the ground humps again, and then it goes dead flat to the curb. It's like, dude, can we just do like this one? That's a nice, that's how it was. That's what the topo said. You know, there's the curb. Instead I have this, original yard, new yard, and then they just chopped, like it was doing that. That's what they had going. So they just chopped an L in right there. It doesn't show up, but that's what they did. So that's the end of this one. We'll keep you posted. Stay safe.